I wanted to get Arne Slot's bald skull, I'm not 100% sure was sober. What on earth possessed him? Even Cody Gakpo couldn't miss that one. Right, hello everybody, welcome back to the Golden Sky. I'm Tom. Liverpool have just drawn, unbelievably, 2-2 to Fulham on what was a game that had the most emotional changes I can remember in a long time. What the hell have we just witnessed? I mean, seriously, I thought we'd won it. We were so close to having the happiest, most entertaining ratings possible here. I was in a great mood. It was a really stupid game. We were shite for so long. We somehow looked like we'd snuck a win. And then one of Snow White's 7 dwarves scored the best goal you've ever seen in your life and ripped my heart out of my chest. So it's not that happy ratings, but hopefully still entertaining. These are the player ratings. So let's get the players on the board. Here they are. The lads who played in that game for I wanted to say mighty Reds. We're not that mighty at the minute, are we? They're quite relatively timid Reds, is what I'll say. Look, let's just go through the players before I start talking any more about any of these guys when it's not on their actual rating. So let's start with Alisson in the goal, who I'm not 100% sure was sober for this match. Did you see the bit in the second half where he... if he was stood closer to his goal, he miscontrolled the ball under his foot and it went backwards and would have gone in the net if he was stood close to the goal line. And then when he went to get it, he slipped over. That was honestly like he was playing slip and slide football, or he was completely hungover still from New Year's. Who knows? Either way, he can't do anything about either of the goals. So if he was drunk or not, it doesn't really matter, is the point I'm making here. He might as well have been drinking. Just like straight spirits in the goal all game. The strongest you can find. Because he's never saving Harry Wilson's. It's a great finish. He strikes it so purely into the corner. And the last one from the fella from Snow White and the 7 Dwarves. He's never saving that. It's the best goal that fella will ever score in his life. It's probably the best moment of his football career, to be totally honest. I mean, have you ever seen anything like it? We looked like we'd won the game. It looked like, finally, here we are. The mighty Reds have snuck a win in the last minute. Once again, we've come from behind. We don't deserve it, but we've fought back. We've done well. And then the ball was in play for literally 10 seconds. And the Ginger Warwick Davis has lined one up from 400 yards out and rocket shipped one, released the absolute Kraken into the top corner. It was in from the moment it left his foot. And I give up with football. I really give up. I frankly couldn't wait to come and do the ratings once that went in. I thought, oh, good. This is just what I'd like to do with my evening. Nothing Alisson can do. He almost got us in trouble again when he came out at one point. I think Jimenez had been lofted over the top and he tried to catch the ball when he came out and he just spilled it straight to Wilson, who dinked everybody and hit the bar. We'll talk about what happened after that when we get to Van Dijk. But Alisson, I can't blame him, but he was a little bit iffy and some of his kicking is a little bit suspect at times, so I'm going to give him a 5. That might be harsh, but we weren't very good today, guys, to be honest. Bradley, I actually did think... It's hard to judge. It's really hard to judge because the standards for these players at the minute is on the absolute floor. In fact, it's below the floor. It's like you've got a really dodgy basement in your gaff. That's where the standards are. You never go down there. Maybe there's an old washing machine or an old fridge that doesn't work in your basement. You never go in there. And that's where our players' ratings are at the minute. If you've got a 6, you've just about made it to the ground floor, you know. But Bradley, what I liked about Bradley's performance today is he was one of the only players in the whole team who at times would try and dribble forwards with the ball. Now, it's a very foreign concept, and if some of you are watching this video and you don't understand what words I've just said, I'll say them again, but I'll say them very slowly, because clearly our players don't understand, so maybe you guys don't understand either, but he got the ball, right? And instead of passing it sideways or backwards, okay, with a short pass, what Bradley would do was get the ball, right? And he'd dribble, okay, that's dribble the ball forwards, like towards the opposition's goal, not sideways. He'd like go towards their goal. It was a very, very alien thing that we saw in that game, but he did it, and the one time he did it well, he sets Wirtz up for the equalising goal. So I appreciated that from him. He tried to drive us forward. I thought he was trying in the second half, not just on the attacking end, but he was trying to win the ball back with some actual aggression at times. Look, he wasn't amazing by any means, and no one really was today. It was a pretty dire performance yet again from Liverpool. We almost got away with it. I've praised him there, but I am still going to give him a 5 because I think overall our players were so crap today. They were so bad. Konate. There were times in that game where he'd have the ball at the back and he just passes it straight to their players, like who were close to him. There was one where he almost got us in trouble, almost got us a 2v1 where he just passed it straight to them. And luckily, I think it was Bradley was able to come back and win the ball quickly and stop anything dangerous happening. But he really does try his best at times to completely sabotage us. Now, on the other hand, he does actually try today and successfully played some relatively decent passes over the top and through the lines. So I can appreciate that from Konate. Like, he's doing some decent stuff. He did some decent defending when Jimenez went through and he had the recovery pace to get back. He got his body in the way, and then Alisson went mental and Harry Wilson nearly chipped everybody. That's besides the point. He didn't do any good defending for Wilson's first goal when I don't fully blame him. I need to watch it back, to be honest, to really see who I blame for the goal. But it's a big, massive space that Wilson is able to fill from the flick from Jimenez, where Konate maybe should be. I think maybe he's just got out of position a little bit there, so I've got to criticise him for that. And overall, he's not alone in this, guys. He just happens to be the first player that comes up on the ratings that I always criticise. He just takes too long on the ball. Honestly, I feel like I age. I feel like every time you see me from rating to rating, it's only a couple of days, but my haircut is going greyer, my face is getting wrinklier, you know, everything's getting older. Whatever else happens when you get old is happening to me watching him on the ball. He just stands there, gives it to Van Dijk. We should play, I can't remember who sings it. Is it Elton John or Tom Jones, I'm Still Standing? I don't know which one of them fellas it is. When he has the ball, that sound effect should play because he's still standing there on it. You better believe it. I might start calling him Elton Konate. There's got to be something better there. Or Konate Tom Jones. I don't know which one of them sings it, guys. I apologise. Someone will let me know in the comments, I'm sure. I'm going to give him a 5 as well. Van Dijk. Fucking hell. Can you imagine if he'd have kicked that one in his own net? Oh my God. Why did he hit it over the bar? What on earth possessed him to hook the ball over his own bar? I mean, what is he doing? Why did he not just welly it up the pitch? Why? What on God's green earth made him think, what I'll do here is I'll hook this 180 degrees over my own head? What on earth? But somehow it managed to work. I don't know why he did that. If he'd have wellied that in his own goal, I can't lie, it would have been hilarious. As a Liverpool fan, even I would have found that a bit funny if he'd have just overhead kicked that thing into his own net. That would have been quite funny. It would have been a bit like Gerrard missing that penalty against Blackburn, because it would have been basically Van Dijk saying that, you know, I want to sort out and I'm smashing the ball in my own net as a result. That's pretty much the only thing I can think of Van Dijk doing in that game, and it was mental. I mean, it was absolutely barking, raving, loony mental is what it was. Something else I will say about Van Dijk in this one is the goal at the end. Obviously, we've already said one of Snow White's 7 dwarves, the Ginger Warwick Davis, one of the little other fellas from Harry Potter who are dead small, who work in the bank. Are they goblins? One of them. He knocks the ball in the net, okay? Why is he so free on the edge of the box? And now the reason why I'm talking about this in Van Dijk's rating is because he's the captain, you know, he's the leader. He's got to recognise the situation. And surely he's got to tell somebody, like, close him down. Someone get on the edge just in case they get the ball out there and we can press a little bit. Because yes, it's a ridiculous goal and it never should go in ever in the world. But if you close him down, it's definitely not going to go in. If you give him a free shot, you see what happens. So I've got to blame him a little bit for that. I always think when I rate Van Dijk, was he better or worse than Konate or the same? And I do struggle to differentiate them sometimes. I think he was slightly... I think they were very similar, to be honest. So I'm just going to give him a 5 as well. I'm just going to give him a 5. It's similar to the Leeds game, to be honest. We didn't have any defending to do. And we still managed to concede 2 goals. So you tell me. Right, Kerkez. He wasn't very involved, really, either. Oh, something monumental did happen. I will say this. It was, hold your horses, guys, on this one. There's been some groundbreaking developments in the world of Liverpool. Milos Kerkez made an overlap, and Cody Gakpo passed him the ball. I know. Trust me, it happened in this game. I saw it with my own eyes. It's like the Loch Ness Monster. It's like Bigfoot. Did it really happen? Who was Jack the Ripper? Well, I promise you I saw it. It's on camera. It's not like the Wilt Chamberlain 100-point game. This is on. There's footage of this. Kerkez made an overlap and Gakpo passing the ball. Now what happened? Kerkez crossed the ball in. It got cleared straight away because no one was in the box because Gakpo is our only attacker. But still, nonetheless, it happened. And I was pleased for Kerkez that at least one time this season, when he made a run around Gakpo, he got the ball. That was something, at least. He didn't really get forward much other than that, though. It seemed like our game plan was to play the slowest, most boring football. I mean, especially the first half. Oh my God. I wanted to just end that experience as fast as humanly possible. I've got a bag up here of safety pins I bought years ago, back when I used to have a pin board, right? And I felt a little bit like asking my family to just throw them at my eyeballs like the darts last night, and see if they could land any in there and put me out my misery, because it was shocking, that first half. Second half was a little bit better, but even after we scored a goal, we didn't exactly, lay siege on the Fulham goal, did we? It wasn't great. And Kerkez is one of those who stood there. It feels like the handbrake's on big time for him, where he can't just bomb constantly down the left wing and give us width, because we attack too slowly. We let the other team get back, set in the back 5. There's no space for him to get down the wing quickly. Whereas if we attack with a bit of transition, a bit of speed to our play, maybe he'd have more opportunities to get down there. But he doesn't. I thought, again, I'm not going to blame him for anything that happened defensively. I don't think he really can with any of the players today. I just think he was just out there. He was just average. So for that, he gets a 6. Now, Gravenberch, he's pissing me off, ladies and gents, like big time. Now, I'll be honest with you, I had a bit of a laugh at that first half today. I wasn't even mad. I really wasn't even mad. I wasn't angry because I fully expected us to be shite, and we were. And then I couldn't process how bad we actually were, and it was making me a bit delirious rather than a bit mad. So I was having a bit of a giggle. We all were, that in my gaff. We were all having a bit of a laugh. But Gravenberch, there were times where I did want to take my double barrel shotgun that I threatened Gakpo with in the last game and unload on Gravenberch, because honestly, how long does he take on the ball at the minute? It must be a directive from the manager. It has to be. It just stands there on the ball. Like, pass it, lad, please. Just pass it to anybody else. And when he does pass it, he gives it away so much at the minute. And I think he's partly to blame for Fulham's first goal, because Wilson, he peels off the back of him. He's in a really good spot. Gravenberch, it has no awareness at all of what's going on behind him. He doesn't screen passing lanes at all. He's like as protective as a screen door on a sinking ship. It's not going to protect anything. It's not going to help. He's like a broken lock on a house, or just a house with no door whatsoever, just an open gaff, a barn of such. He doesn't protect anything at the minute. He used to be really good not so long ago. I don't quite know what's going on. He makes me want to pull my hairs out one by one, and I've got a lot of bloody hair on my head. So that's where we are with Gravenberch. I think he was rubbish today. Really poor. I'm going to give him a 3. And I'm going to go to Jones, who was honestly doing his best to match Gravenberch's slowness and shitness and diabolicalness and making me just fume, like, beyond belief. Listen, right, this morning, before the game, I went for a run. It was absolutely freezing cold, right? I'm going somewhere with this. Let me cook, okay? It was freezing. It was so cold, in fact, that my ears felt like they were going to drop off my body at any moment from frostbite, okay? If you don't know, at the minute, the UK, it's very cold. And there was basically ice and snow all over the gaff, right? But I went for a run. And when I got back, I looked in the mirror and my ears, right, they were bright red, like as red as, I don't know, a cherry or a Liverpool kit. And there was like steam coming off them like you wouldn't believe. I mean, it's cold steam, but still, right? That was how I felt, but in anger when Curtis Jones had the ball today, because he just would not pass it forwards. He would not do it. No matter where he was, no matter what was happening, he would not do it. So, what do you even say about that? I have no idea. He just kept giving it away. That was so unlike him. He just kept giving it away. It was like his favourite thing to do. Like, he just couldn't wait for the next pass to Fulham. Did he think we were playing in white? Do we even have a white kit this year? I don't think we... Do we? Yeah, I can't remember. I can't remember now. We have the green kit. We have the red kit. Do we have a white kit? I've got complete... Yeah, we do. Do we? I think we do have a white kit. I've got myself in the right muddle now, haven't I? Maybe he thought we were, and he was rubbish. I don't know how he lasted so long, but then again, we have no attackers on the pitch, so I don't know how he's supposed to pass it forward at times. I give him some credit. And we've got no other midfielders because they're all playing. I mean, all of them. They're all playing. We've just got a team of midfielders nowadays. We used to sing a song once that we had the best midfielder in the world. We could maybe remix that a bit to we've got all the midfielders in the world and they're all playing all at once, all at the same time, all in the same position. Maybe that's the new version. He was rubbish. He was also a 3. Oh, look who we've got next. Alexis McAllister, who was like the triplet in this trio of sideways, boring. It was boring, wasn't it? Like, the most boring thing. Do you know what? I'm going to tell you a little story now. I've recently started watching these videos on YouTube of this fella. Okay, he's called Forrest. This is not a free plug for Forrest. He's way more famous than me. I mean, way more, right? So if any of you know about Forrest already, who I'm about to tell you, fair enough. He goes... I've started watching his videos. He's an animal fella, right? He goes around to different aquariums and zoos and all sorts like that, and he just looks at the animals and, like, he gets to, like, do cool stuff with them. And today I watched one, and there was this little seal. It was dead cute. It was a little seal, and it could paint. I'm not kidding, right? You should go and watch this shit. It's top quality entertainment. He gave the seal the little paintbrush, and it'd just go fucking mental with the paintbrush like this. It would just go mad with it in its mouth. It would just shake its head like this, just going crazy, painting, okay? Just, yeah, he had the little canvas in his hands, and it was just whacking paint all over the place, and they were all going, oh, that's amazing, look at that, it's drawn, oh, look at what it's drawn. And I'll be honest, guys, it was a complete mess, right? But at the end of the day, you're not going to criticise it, because it was a seal painting, are you? So, you know, have you seen me paint? It's crap. The seal was probably just as good. Right, where am I going with this? I don't really know. Where I am going with it is that seal, right? I swear to God, if you put that in midfield today, it could have done better than all 3 of our midfielders put together at passing the ball forwards. If you'd have taught it that when it passes the ball forwards, it gets a bunch of fish, it could have done it. I'm telling you. If you can teach a seal to paint, you can teach a seal to push a football forward with its head or with its flippers. You can, defo. And McAllister, it seems like you can't. I just don't get it with McAllister at the minute. He never does anything good, does he? That's the worrying thing with Macca. Does he do anything good? Is there any time where you're like, oh, good play, Macca, when you watch the game? Because I'm not sure there is. And you know what's annoying? Is he'll defo go to the World Cup and he'll be mint. He'll be class. He'll be there with Messi and all the other Argentinians wearing the little red little bracelet things that they all have that are dead cool. And they'll be like knocking the ball around, playing beautiful football. Oh, look at us, we're Argentina and we're dead boss. And he comes to us and he's like, he looks like a pensioner out there at times playing. His hair is just, it's honestly toppy apple haircuts at the minute for McAllister. He was also a 3. If you're telling me any of the midfielders were good today, guys, I don't know what to tell you. And Szoboszlai as well. I hate to say it about Szoboszlai at the minute, but he was awful today. Shocking. I know he's had a good season, guys, but that doesn't mean he's immune from criticism. His influence on the game, the last 2 games, has been next to none, really, hasn't it? I mean, now let's not forget, he's being played massively out of position, as per. His position is number 8. Okay, he's played there maybe twice this season, maybe twice. He's playing right wing, sort of. We played a 4-4-2 thing today. I really don't know what it was. It was very confusing. And he barely got the ball. One thing he did do, though, which was an interesting new wrinkle in our team. Right, we've now taken, I believe, I am now keeping count, that's where we are. I believe we've now taken 105 corners this season. We've scored 1 goal. So we're at a rate of 1 in every 105 corners goes in for us. So, not really the best return on investment there. But we've come up with a new plan, okay, today. We came up with a new plan to take corners. Obviously, we've sacked our set-piece coach. Szoboszlai took a few corners today. The new plan is to take the corner as quickly as humanly possible. So our defenders, the ones who actually head the ball, aren't even in the box yet. And when we take the corner, make sure that what you do is you still take it as crap as possible so they can just easily head it away at the front post. Well, Szoboszlai took that instructions and he just executed it perfectly because that's what we did. What was that all about? Why was he like taking corners as though it was the 100 millionth minute of the game? What was that? Did anyone else notice that or was that just me? It's baffling. He got moved in the middle. Didn't help. We had a free kick. It was a decent area for him. It went nowhere near the goal. It honestly went nowhere near the goal. Fulham still had the Christmas decorations up. I don't really know why. Obviously, no one at Craven Cottage has bothered to take them down yet. Kind of respect that, to be honest. And Szoboszlai brought a few down with that free kick. He knocked the tinsel off the side of the stadium. It went nowhere near. It was awful. He also gets a 3. And to be honest, they've all just got a 3 because it's hard to... You tell me how I'm supposed to distinguish between those 4 in the middle today. Honestly, they're like a quadruple. What do you call 4 children? You got twins and triplets. Quadruplets? They're like a quadruplet of shit, is what I'm trying to say. They were rubbish, is where we are. Right. Okay, then we had Wirtz, who had a weird game. It was weird. At first, in the first half, he was frustrating the living daylight out of me, just giving it away. Not all the time, let's be clear, but more often than he should. There was one where we had a semi-transition, and he just passed it straight to Fulham. That was really bad, and he can't do that type of thing. And then the next minute, he created our only chance of the first half. When the ball goes wide, there's a little step over, gets on his right foot, plays the ball across, and Curtis Jones is there, tries to flick it in the net. It's a good block. So he creates a chance, like that was the only bright spark, really, of the first half. Other than that, he was pretty bad, but so were they all. He was also included in that 4-man clusterfuck there in the middle. Now, when the second half came around, he was better, definitely, and he obviously reaps the rewards. Now, Bradley did all the good work. Wirtz just happened to be in the right area at the time, but he took the goal well, left foot, just a clinical finish, really. Just curved it round the goalkeeper as easy as pie. I thought he was miles offside. I'm still not convinced he was onside, to be totally honest with you, at all. We'll get to the Muckery Index later. If you haven't seen the Muckery Index, surprise, we've got the Muckery Index at the end of the ratings now. We'll get to that later, of course. But Yeah, he took it. I'll take it all day long. And I couldn't believe it. He obviously scored his second goal for us. That's great. He's got, I think, is that 2 in 3 games or something now. So happy with that. That's the only positive from today, is that Wirtz scored again. And then he got brought off, and it was at that point that I wanted to get Arne Slot's bald skull and just ram it just against the ground repeatedly, because are you seriously telling me he couldn't play another 15 minutes in that game? Why did we take him off? It's just baffling to me why we took him off. Obviously, we then scored, so it shouldn't have mattered. We should have won the game, but it's a bad sub, and it's no coincidence, by the way, that the 2 goals he's scored for us are both goals that have come from him standing in the middle of the pitch, because he's not playing on the left wing. It's not a coincidence. I am not, by any means, as knowledgeable about football as any manager in the Premier League, including Arne Slot. But if I can tell you for a fact, if he's playing on the left wing, he's not as effective as he is playing number 10. So I don't want to see it ever again. But I fear that I will. Wirtz, 5. And he gets that just for the goal. And then we have Gakpo. What a weird game for him as well. I mean, first half, it was a lesson in how not to be a footballer, really, wasn't it? I used to, back in the day, when I was a young boy, I used to have this, it was like a DVD or something, right? And it was a DVD of football funnies or something, like football fails or something like that, right? I think Danny Dyer presented it, actually. You can probably look it up. And basically what it was like little clips of players scoring own goals or missing sitters or falling over, things like that. And little 5-year-old Tommy Forsh just lapped it up. I thought it was hilarious, okay? Now, you could have put Gakpo on that in the first half today, because that chance he had in the first half was horrendous. It was awful. His first touch is crap. His second touch is okay. He gets it back into his feet. The third touch takes him miles wide. And then the fourth touch, he shoots like he's never hit a football before in his whole life. I say this nearly every video. My grandma with no hips could have hit that one with more venom. Could have hit it better. She has fake hips. I want to make this clear. She doesn't have no legs. She has legs. She just doesn't have any real hips. Again, shout out to you, Grandma. And to be honest, anyone in my family could have. Anybody. What can I even say? Then he goes on and scores. Unbelievably, what I thought was going to be the winner. It was unbelievable that it was Gakpo. I've been criticising him the whole game. He was shocking. Just kept cutting in to no avail, doing niche up front, being useless as per. And then he finds himself at the back post, and he scored with what I thought was his nutsack at first, but it wasn't his nutsack. It was actually his thigh. Very different part of the body from the nutsack. Don't know how I got that confused. And it was almost undies on the head, guys. It was so close. I had my kecks half off. I was just getting my undies ready to get them on my head, and then Ginger Warwick Davis knocked one in from 500 yards out, so the undies had to stay on. It was so close. And do you know what's funny as well? After Gakpo scored, I'm sat there with my dad, and we're joking. We're going, we've almost secured 1 point here in this game, because we were obviously 2-1 up. We're having a laugh saying, hey, we've almost got that draw in the bank now. We're probably both thinking, yeah, we've won this now. We've won. And then about 2 seconds after that, he blasted one in the net, and we looked like idiots. Gakpo took his shirt off. That was interesting. An interesting move. And then I've got fucking Gravenberch there holding it up in front of the crowd. Ryan, lad, are you having a laugh with me? Do you watch him play every week for us, holding his shirt up like he's Messi? The fans should have started throwing shit at it. Take it back. If you threw it in the crowd, throw it back. Put it back on. Cody, I don't want your shirt. Maybe score every week. Play a bit better. And then you can take your shirt off. Who do you think you are, Bobby Firmino? Unbelievable. Leave your shirt firmly on, my friend. It must have been freezing as well, by the way. What do you give him? What on earth do you give Gakpo in that game? 4? Does that seem fair? Is anyone going to kick off if I give Gakpo a 4? possibly, but it's happened now, so he's got a 4. Frimpong, I was crying out for Frimpong to come on all game. I was desperate. I was like, 60 minutes in, come on, you've got to bring the Pong on now. You've got to bring him on. We've equalised. It's a miracle that we've equalised. Bring some pace on, please. We have no pace whatsoever. I swear to you, I reckon I was the fastest player. If you put me on that pitch today instead of any of them, I reckon I'm the fastest one of them all. I ran a 10k PB today as well, by the way, so I'm faster than ever at the minute. I reckon I'm faster than all them. Now, we needed pace desperately. We needed width desperately. You know, he took too long. He took way too long to bring Frimpong on. And you could see why he should have brought him on. Because Frimpong gets basically one chance to cross the ball in. Overhits it. Okay, that's fine. Second time, gets the ball wide. Delivers the ball early. Brilliant cross. I mean, brilliant. Causes mayhem in the box. And even Cody Gakpo couldn't miss that one. He honestly couldn't miss. He might have tried to cut inside and score it, but even Gakpo managed to score. So yeah, Frimpong made a really positive impact. Should have been on earlier. He's a threat on that right wing. He actually is. I don't think I love him playing right wing all the time, but he's a threat at least. So for me, he gets 7. He did what he was supposed to do when he came on. Chiesa came on as well. Don't know what that was all about. He's rubbish, isn't he? He is crap. Let's just call it what it is. He has a great song, but every team in the league's nicked it now, so we can't even have fun with that. And he is just rubbish. What's Divock Origi up to? Do you know what I mean? We've got no strikers. Where is he? I think he's still owned by Forest. They don't even want him. Just get him back. Bring him back for like 6 months. Let him play up front. I bet you he scores a few. He's better than Chiesa. I'm sorry, but he is. The number one thing I want to say about Chiesa is, well, it's not even about Chiesa at all, is Fulham had this sponsor on the sign that said Mongolia, and the go was like a different colour. Like it was telling you to go to Mongolia. Now, I can honestly say I've never in my life once thought about a little trip to Mongolia until I saw that. And now I'm thinking, what's Mongolia like these days? Is it good there? Maybe I'll go. And then I started joking about maybe if you put Gakpo at the top of Russia, he might cut inside and end up in Mongolia. If he just keeps cutting inside constantly. That's just a little joke for you there. Hope that made some of you laugh, or at least exhale out your nose. Chiesa, he's rubbish. Oh, he did nothing. Oh, and then we subbed Gomez on for Gakpo. After Gakpo thought he'd won us the game and took his shirt off, we thought, let's bring Gomez on. Now, what we'll do is we'll shore things up. If we bring Gomez on, we can't possibly concede. He'll help us head things away. We'll be stronger at the back. It's a great move. This is good. I'm glad I've got the iPad. I'm glad I've got my notepad here. I'm talking like I'm on a slot. And I can bring Gomez on. Everything's going to be just fine. What we're going to do instead, once we bring him on, we're going to sit. All our whole team is going to sit in the box. And anyone from Fulham can have a free shot from outside the box. I don't know what that was all about. And then we had Gomez on for like the last 3 minutes, and he actually played Gravenberch a ball, which Gravenberch should have got, but he was fast asleep for some reason. I don't know why. That's another knock on Gravenberch's shocking performance today. So Gomez, I can't blame him. It's a 6. He didn't have enough time to impact the game at all. Right. The Muckery Index. Here we go, the latest addition to the ratings. So for those of you that still don't know, the Muckery Index was suggested by a viewer. So if you do have any suggestions for any of my videos, please do suggest them, because I will use them if I like them. And the Muckery Index is a little summary kind of VAR and the performance of the refs and whether they mucked around with the game or not, basically, today. And that's what it's there for, because we all love VAR. Watched the earlier game today. They had ref cam. It was the 12:30 Leeds versus United, and they had the new ref cam on TNT. He was wearing it on his ear he had like a camera ear. He looked like someone from MI5. Honestly, it was ridiculous, like a hitman. So that was ridiculous. Didn't have ref cam in this one. That's good. We did, though, however, have a VAR decision basically go our way, and it was about a 3-minute wait for that. So What do you say about that for the Muckery Index? Bloody hell, who knows? Let's just hit it with this. 3 mins of hell for Nout. There's the Muckery Index today. 3 mins of hell to end up with a draw. But there we go. That is the match ratings. That is the player ratings. I really do hope that you did enjoy them. Let's get them off the screen. If I can do that successfully. There we go. That is the player ratings, guys. I really do hope that you did enjoy. And if you did enjoy, please do leave a like on the video. Like I said, it's sometimes not easy to come and do these ratings after the game when we've conceded a last-minute winner, or we've lost, or we've drawn again. So hit that like button. Let's get to 30 likes on the ratings. That would help me out a lot. We're trying to get to 500 subscribers. So if you're new around here and you did enjoy, please do click subscribe. We do ratings for every single game. Podcast listeners, 5-star rating and reviews. Follow the show. Thank you very much for listening if you did so. Guys, I'll be back shortly once again to look at this one, the tactical video, because we have another quick turnaround before we play Arsenal. Hooray! That's going to be fun. Maybe we'll win. Who knows? But until then, I hope you all have a good rest of your weekend. For me, it's back to work tomorrow. I've been off for Christmas. It might be the same for a lot of you guys. So, hope it all goes okay and you're not dreading it too much. I'll speak to you all in the next one. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.